Hello everyone. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at an article, an opinion piece from the Washington Post, written by the Wicked Witch of the Midwest herself, I guess. Well, is Michigan the Midwest? Yeah. So the Wicked Witch of the Midwest here, Gretchen Whitmer, that was published on October 9th. Gretchen Whitmer, I will hold the president accountable for endangering and dividing America. Excuse me, you're the one, along with the rest of the people on the Democratic Party side of things, that are doing that. What you expect is for the Republicans of, old to be like where, they were neocon, rhino, corporatists, and it was in their interest to pander to the Democrats, giving in and letting you take a yard when we only want an inch. And now you don't have that. So basically, you're trying to blame the dividing of America on the fact that you can't have what you want because you're being told no, because you're acting like petulant children, and you don't like it when someone tells you no. Sorry, but you have to deal with that. That's what being an adult is, Whitmer. Okay. When I addressed the people of Michigan on Thursday to comment on the unprecedented terrorism, conspiracy, and weapons charges against 13 men, some of whom were preparing to kidnap and possibly kill me, I said, hatred, bigotry, and violence have no place in the great state of Michigan. I meant it. But just moments later, President Trump's campaign advisor, Jason Millen, appeared on national television accusing me of fostering hatred, because that's exactly what you're doing. You have the people there getting upset with you, getting pissed with you, hating you. All right, you're fostering it by trying to be an authoritarian shipwreck, and here you are trying to be like, I don't know what you're talking about. Take responsibility for your own actions. You are the one that when the people want to start going back to normal with their lives, okay, the state Supreme Court says your shit's unconstitutional, all right? You're the one who goes, I'm just going to ignore that. That's a 21-day thing, when that's not the case. So grow up. Accept responsibility for your actions, all right? Stop being an authoritarian piece of shit. Oh, sorry, too much to ask of you because we know that isn't going to happen. And, yeah, maybe come back to reality. And this idea of mentioning this plot against you, you mean by the anarcho-communist? Some are saying anarcho-capitalist, but he was, filmed with an actual anarcho-communist flag, all right? Or pictured. And people have done their research on this. But definitely not someone on the right. You look at the guy that runs this Wolverine fucking LARPing thing. He's definitely a lefty. And you're trying to blame this on Trump? Come on now. I'm not going to waste my time arguing with the president, but I will always hold him accountable, because when our leaders speak, their words carry weight. Now, hold on a minute. That would mean that you're the arbiter. See, there has to be a discussion. See, arguing is a debate. It's a discussion. Okay? Arguing has negative connotations, but you can argue for the defense of something. You have an argument for the defense of something. So she's trying to portray it like, I'm not just going to listen to him. I'm just going to decide, and I'm going to hold him accountable for shit that I pull out of my head. Because that's what's going on here. Because in order to have an issue with him and hold him accountable, you both have to come to a situation where, yeah, okay, I did wrong. So, yeah. Slight problem with your theory there, Whitmer. When our leaders encourage domestic terrorists, they legitimize their actions, which he's never encouraged domestic terrorists, you lying sack of shit. When they spoke and contribute to hate speech, they are What? When they spoke and contribute to hate speech, they are complicit. Excuse me, Whitmer, there is no such thing as hate speech. All speech is protected speech. There is detestable speech. There is speech that you don't like. There is speech that would offend people, whether it be racist, whether it be edgy comedy, whatever the case may be. But there is no such thing as hate speech. That is a fallacy that was literally created by the former Soviets. Historical fact. They created it within the Soviet Union and the communist bloc to go after dissidents and people speaking out against the government and corruption or whatever the case may be. If it was something they didn't like a person speaking about, oh, well, he was speaking hate speech. And then they throw him in the fucking gulag. So, get a clue. Then they took it to the United Nations. Because, see, they were getting called out by all these Western nations for the shitty things they were doing. And they got it codified so that way they could go, oh, what you're saying is hate speech. No such thing. But you want to push that bullshit because it fits your narrative. And when a sitting president stands on a national stage, president would be a proper noun. So it'd be capital. So you should know that. But because it's Trump. But anyway, and when a sitting president stands on a national stage refusing to condemn white supremacists and hate groups, as President Trump did when he told the Proud Boys to stand back and stand up. Well, no, he did. They said, Wallace said, are you going to disavow, all these things which he's done over and over and over and over again? I mean, there's like, clip videos of him denouncing white supremacy and racism and all these things over and over and over and over again. The KKK, David Duke. But that isn't good enough for you. And he said, sure. That's an affirmative. Yes, I denounce it. But see, you ignore that he said, sure. Yeah, I denounce it. Because that's what that means. And this idea of Proud Boys, see, what's funny is you try to say that white supremacists and hate groups, because you realize that you can't exactly call the Proud Boys white supremacists when you have an Afro-Cuban running the organization. So you lead off with the white supremacist to associate with it, but then if anyone questions it, you sly little bitch, oh, well, I meant hate group. Why? Because they're Western male chauvinists? I don't see a problem with that. If they want to be Western male chauvinists, that's their prerogative. If they want to tell you to go back to the kitchen and make them a fucking sandwich, that's their right. It's not hate speech. You might not like it. It may hurt your feelings. But you know what? With how you've run Michigan, maybe you should go back to the kitchen and make them fucking sandwiches. Because you suck as governor. Well, maybe you can, with a loaf of Wonder Bread and some fucking lunch meat, maybe you can do better. I mean, Jesus Christ. Oh, she's a real piece of work, Whitmer here. And he meant to say stand down, by the way. And they just ran with it. See, you take what he said literally and not out of context, too. You are pathetic. You are a vile person. Anyway, hate groups heard the president's words not as a rebuke, but as a rallying cry, a call to action. No, they thought it was hilarious. Okay, the Proud Boys. They had shirts made up, and they're all joking about it. Anyone who would follow our Proud Boy account would know this. Whether you agree with them or not. You want to see what they're actually like? Follow one of their accounts. I mean, they have them on Twitter. There's Proud Boy accounts on Twitter. I believe Torio, the head, I think that's his name. He has one on Twitter, but he has one on Parler. You have the Proud Boys actual Twitter on Parler as well. Go and check out what it is. It's not what they're claiming. It's ridiculous. So they take it and they run with it as a joke. And it's a rallying cry to them? Wow, delusional. 2020 should be the year for national unity. In the midst of the worst public health crisis we have seen in our lifetimes, we should all come together as Americans to fight the beer virus and protect each other. Well, here's the thing. This is coming from a woman who probably shouldn't be talking about unity right now when she's ignoring the idea of you have 3 branches of government and 2 of the branches said, whoa, bitch, you've overstepped your powers and you won't even fucking acknowledge the fact that you have and you're pulling the shit that you are. Going, I'm going to do what I want. I got 21 days and then I'm going to find some other way to do it. You really are delusional. This woman is nuts. But this country is more divided than ever. Oh, I wonder why. Could it be because the Democrats and the left, people like you, have been actually causing the division? Let's see. You've been doing that since 2016. What do you expect? You created the division because people like you did not like the fact that your bitch Hillary did not win. And you've been trying to do everything to sabotage and get Trump, sabotage his administration and get Trump out of office. You people are ridiculous. You cause the division. And then you want to blame Trump for it. Disgusting. And instead of uniting the country, our president has spent the past 7 months denying science, ignoring his own health experts, stoking distrust, and fomenting anger and giving comfort to those who spread fear and hatred and division. Excuse me? So he follows what Fauci said. Okay, don't wear masks. Then wear masks. And he, said wear masks. And people are saying wear masks. The science has been all over the place. Ignoring his own health experts. Why? Because he's been a little more optimistic than Fauci? Come on now. Stoking distrust. How is he to stoke distrust? Because he won't allow CNN and people like you to run your mouths and talk shit? Talk shit, get hit. In this case, verbally hit. You don't like the fact that he calls out your shit? And this idea of fomenting anger, you're the ones that are pushing anger, that are trying to basically make it so that, Orange Man bad and piss off everyone at him and get everyone angry at him. When you're being an authoritarian bitch in violation of the Supreme Court of your state, telling you, whoa, you can't do what you're doing. And you want to talk about fomenting anger? Jesus Christ, woman, you are fucking delusional. Wow. This woman is nuts. Maybe she should also cut off on the Botox because, doing all that Botox with having bitch face, it just becomes perpetual bitch face. And that's what's going on with her too. Oh, she's awful. He has proved time and again that he is more focused on his chances in the upcoming election and picking fights with me and Democrats across the country than he is on protecting our families, frontline workers, and small businesses from COVID-19. Excuse me? From the beer virus? Excuse me? Whoa. Let's go through this bullshit here. Because this is complete and total bullshit. He calls out your ineptitude. The fact that you're completely inept and how you handled the beer virus in your state. The same with Cuomo and Newsom and all of them. And you say, because he's calling you out on your shit, that he has been picking fights with you because he's calling out you being a complete failure and you being an authoritarian scumbag? That Cuomo being a scumbag? That you're all hypocrites? Come on now. You people, you're pathetic. And he has done everything looking at protecting families, frontline workers, small businesses. He's done what he can because you know what? We live in a constitutional republic, with a federal government. Federal government is limited in what it can do. A lot of these things are up to the states, which means, on the note of small businesses, okay, in Michigan, the reason why they're up Schitt's Creek is because of your ineptitude, because of your inability to not realize that the people want the shit reopened and you closing it down, and it goes to the Supreme Court and they tell you can't do what you're doing, and you still do it, and you still expect these businesses to be closed. You're screwing these businesses over, and you're saying that it's up to Trump to deal with the issues that you're causing? Go to hell. And this idea of frontline workers, what about all the PPE? Let's talk about all the PPE. Because you know what? You dragged your feet and dragged your feet and dragged your feet and dragged your feet and then tried to blame Trump when you couldn't get PPE. You are disgusting. You are a vile human being, Whitmer. You seriously are a disgusting human being. This woman is vile. She is so out of her tree. As a result, at least 212,000 Americans are dead. Yes, and let's talk about that. Okay, seriously. Because you aren't reporting all the deaths of your nursing homes. You're reporting 10% of the nursing homes. You're not doing assisted living. You're not doing elderly daycare or other types of like setups that all these other states in the country are counting. And you've got the same average. So did all the other 90% of the nursing homes, did they not have any deaths? What about the assisted living? What about elderly care, like daycare? No deaths? So let's talk about the death count. Oh, you are such a vile woman. More than 60 million have filed for unemployment. A lot of them in Michigan because of your ridiculous shit. And still, the president has not developed a national strategy on testing, protective medical equipment, or masks. Yes, he has. Here's the thing. He rebuilt our reserve. The reserve is there to go out when it's needed. Obama left him with no reserve, or a very small one. Jesus Christ. This year has been hard for all of us. It has been hard for our doctors and nurses, for truck drivers and grocery store workers, for teachers and students, and parents. And for those who have had to stay isolated, to stay safe, and it's not over yet. Whoa. Okay, first off, what about all those TikTok videos of all these doctors and nurses just sitting on their asses doing nothing? What about all the doctors and, nurses and other medical staff that had to be laid off? Not necessarily a lot of doctors, but I'm sure some of them did. What about all those people that had to get laid off? Huh? That are in the medical profession? Because, oh no, we need all this shit taken care of. We need to be prepared for the second coming of end of the world doomsday type of viral infection type of idea, like you'd see in a Hollywood movie. And for teachers and students and parents, for teachers, excuse me, teachers are trying to stay at home because they want to stay at home because they're getting paid for an 8-month-a-year job to sit on their fucking ass. They've had it real fucking hard. They got out early and they still got paid. Screw you. Their school year ended early and they got paid for the full school year. Oh yeah, real hard on them. Get bent. Kids are not really susceptible to this. You want to talk about them dealing with a difficult time? It's because of people like you. They should be back in classes. This woman is seriously delusional. She's nuts. Oh, as I've said it many times, we are not another's enemy. Then why do you try to make everyone your enemy by being an authoritarian psycho wench? Explain it. The virus is your enemy, and this enemy is relentless. It does not care if you're a Republican or Democrat, young or old, rich or poor. It does not care if we are tired of it. Well, wait a minute here. The virus has 95 or better % survivability. This sounds like it's such a big fucking threat. When 95% of people plus, when you get to 99 or something like that with kids and people up into their 20s and shit. Oh, the actual numbers don't bear out your claim there. It threatens us all, our lives, our families, our jobs, our businesses, and our economy. It preys on our elderly and medically vulnerable residents, and it has exposed deep inequities in our society. Oh, you stupid bitch. You're going to bring in the elderly when you sent them to their fucking deaths? You psycho, disgusting, vile human being. You are an evil person. You literally sent, even though they were in the nursing home, by sending in these infected people, even the 20-year-old guy, okay, that beat the shit out of that old dude who, you forced the nursing home to take a 20-something-year-old guy in with mental problems who kicked the shit out of some old dude, gave him, I believe, besides the fact, actually they both had it. That's why they were in the same room together. Completely broke the dude emotionally and mentally to where he starved himself to death. And you want to bring up the elderly, you disgusting person. Oh my God. And you sent a lot of these elderly in your state to their death. So shut up about them. This is ridiculous. For the past 7 months, I have made the tough choices to keep our state safe. These have been gut-wrenching decisions no governor has had to make. Excuse me, you loved every minute of it. You're like, I'm precious. Your precious power. Precious. You were treating it like the ring from the Lord of the Rings, for Christ's sake. grabbing as much power as you possibly can. And when your legislature said, hey, whoa, 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 this is where it gets great with the whole thing with the elderly. And I don't mean in a good way great, but on the note of her being a psycho fucking wench. When a bipartisan bill goes in front of you, Whitmer, saying, hey, stop sending these infected people into nursing homes like you are, you vetoed it because you wanted the death toll. But they got so high you don't even want to report them because then there would have to be an investigation and you'd be fucked. Oh, you're sitting there going, precious. Okay. And you're saying I had to make hard decisions? You lying sack of shit. When I get out of bed every morning, I think about the high school seniors, such as my daughter, who miss graduation ceremonies. Bringing in the child for emotion to cover your power grab. You're evil. I think about those who have missed weddings and funerals. I think about all the parents who are working from home, making breakfast every day, logging kids into their Zoom classes and doing laundry. Well, here's the thing. You think about them working from home, making breakfast every day? Well, here's the thing. A lot of those parents want to go back to work. They need to go back to work because they can't afford to be at home. They need to support that family. They need to take care of that child. You get a couple cases and the deaths are going down, but the cases are going up because we've got, per capita, more tests being done, and you're using that to exploit the situation. And you say you think about those people? Yeah, you're thinking about them and relishing the fact that, I've got them under my thumb. I control them. They're precious. They're power. For Christ's sake, that's what you're doing. You're a disgusting person. I think about the small business owners who spent a lifetime building something great, who are now hanging on by their fingernails just to keep the lights on. Whose fault is that? Oh, could it be you? Because you're the one that's locking shit down in Michigan when your own, other two branches of government, your legislature and your judicial are telling you, no, you can't do that? At that point, it's your fucking fault, you dumb bitch, that they're in the situation they're in. It's actually your fault before that point because you decided to make things be extreme. You took them to the extremes. You're ridiculous. And I think about the 212,000 Americans who have died as a result of this virus. Deaths that could have been avoided. Had the president treated COVID beer virus like the crisis he has known it to been from the beginning. Well, excuse me, he did. He locked down travel. With the fact of China and shit like that. He did everything that was possible on the note of the federal government, okay? On a state level, it's failures like yours that led to shit. Plain and simple. It's failures like Cuomo and Newsom that led to massive death. That's the fact of the matter. But you want to blame Trump because your poor choices led to massive, massive elderly deaths and led to deaths of a lot of other people. You're ridiculous. She's a vile person. The disruption this virus has caused to our daily lives is immeasurable. But our hard work and sacrifices have saved thousands of lives. No! With you only counting 10% of the deaths from nursing homes. And not all the other things like assisted living and all that other type of stuff. Michigan is a fucked state. Your lockdowns didn't do shit. If you compare Michigan to other states with similar populations that are bordering it, they all did better than you, and they didn't lock shit down like you have. Explain that one, Whitmer. Please. Because you look at Indiana, not in the same condition as you, not even close. Oh. This is ridiculous. But our hard work and sacrifices have saved thousands of lives. I'm sorry, but that's a fucking lie. And I love this. We'll save thousands of lives. Well, if we did everything perfect, we were supposed to have like 2 million dead, 1 to 2 million dead. And that was, 6 months ago? Like back before July or some shit like that? So not quite 6 months ago, but yeah, you get the idea, like 4 months ago. Michigan has one of the strongest economic recoveries in the nation. Michigan has one of the strongest economic recoveries in the nation. Bitch, it's a desolate, destitute shithole. Detroit is just spreading out across that fucking state. What the hell are you talking about? It's all going to end up, with the way Democrats run things there, it's going to end up all looking like fucking Detroit. You psycho bitch, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. There will be more hard days ahead, but we must all show a little kindness and a lot of empathy. Give one another some grace, and let's take care of each other. Wear your mask, stay 6 feet apart, wash your hands frequently, and look out for your neighbors. We will get through this together. Says the bitch who is ignoring the residents, ignoring the state legislature, and ignoring the state Supreme Court. Together would be, they decided, majority rule, 2 branches said to you, bitch, the legislature tried to stop you and said nope, and the court comes in and says nope, you can't do that. At that point, that would be working together, you actually following the fucking court's orders. So don't tell me this shit, we're going to get through this together. Don't tell other Americans that either, because it's a lie. You're an authoritarian, power-grabbing bitch who's sitting there going, the precious, the power, I'm setting myself up to run for president. That's what you're doing. You're looking at this as political gain. I mean, this is ridiculous. This bitch is psycho. Literally, she's trying to blame everyone for her own shit. Typical fucking lefty, typical fucking broad, can do no wrong. No offense to the female gender meant by that, but a lot of women like to blame everyone else for their shit. Typical fucking shit going on here with her. Like delusional levels of it, but still. Anyway, I've covered this well enough. I'm leaving things here. If you liked this video, depending on where you are watching it, please give it an upvote or thumbs up. If you want to know when new content of mine hits the internet, don't forget to subscribe to one or more of my social media or video accounts listed here. Also, with YouTube, don't forget to ring that bell. You can find all of my video content on both BitChute and YouTube. This may not be the case with other places I upload to, but I will try to minimize this happening. You are always welcome to interact with me at any of these sites on the list, so feel free to do so. If you have anything you want me to cover in a video, when it comes to news or current events, send it right along to me. I will try to do my best to cover it. As always, thank you for watching.